The Aquaphor in the middle is fucking hilarious.
That was on purpose. That was a product placement.
I know.
Because they don't answer your email and be fucking pissed.
Yeah, we're baiting them.
I was thinking about this earlier when I think we were in high school.
Do you feel like you're close enough to your mic?
Am I close enough to the mic?
She tends to go a little quiet, so sometimes. Probably good.
Check. Yeah, okay.
Cool.
Yeah, it did seem kind of far away.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking earlier about that one time we were, I think it was Michael, was it Michael Uhas's house?
I don't know. No, I think it was Tyler Van Norman.
He's gonna see it. He's whatever. That's a song for another time. When I was like, how old were we? 15 maybe?
No, we were
like
driving.
12.
We were not,
Driving?
Were hammered. We couldn't have been 15.
No.
We were like 17.
And I don't even remember like why the fuck we were there, but I was super hammered and we were like sitting in the driveway because I didn't feel good. And I like rolled over and just like vomited all in their front yard.
Yeah, it was my mom's like casserole.
Yeah. Rice. It was like a chicken rice broccoli casserole. And then we looked at each other and you just picked up a big boulder and
plumped it right on it. I can hear the sound in my head still.
And then we just looked at each other and ran away.
We drove away. We got in the car and left. You barfed in his yard. We hid it under a rock.
I was thinking about that too.
His family yard, his parents' yard.
His parents had to come home and like see the rock in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the grass, and pick it up, and like that shit doesn't just like dissipate.
No, it's terrible. Oh, welcome back.
Hey, everybody.
To fucking mask off.
It's just us two today.
Yeah, I know. Last week we had a great episode with a great guest. This week we are in Nashville. I know it looks a little different than normal, but we're filming at home.
We found a new stew.
Just say studio.
No. And we like this. We like the vibe. And we hope you guys don't get it confused because it looks a bit different.
It's still us. I know the hats might...
Oh, wait.
What hat?
Is mine in the frame or is it so tall that it's reached beyond the frame?
I imagine that her hat is completely out of the frame because it's so tall. Like, she's hardly in the frame. Yeah, this is our costume bit. I know you've already seen us in the costumes quite often.
We just gave up on what we're wearing. We just like to go with what feels good. And this time it was hats. So
I tried to be a fisherman. I don't think it came across.
You missed the mark a tiny. It's like
I shot.
Where is he? Oh, I wish we could tell that story. That could never be told.
What story is that?
The special ops story.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
That's a really good story. Maybe another time.
Yeah.
Anyways,
welcome back. We're doing a little mini, just the two of us here. And
we have a lot to talk about, actually.
Yeah.
And a lot of advice to give. And
this time it's going to be real advice and good advice. And we say that because last time it was just the two of us.
We may have
potentially
said some things
to some degree
that we don't want you to take to heart. We got a phone call from my sister the other night, and she said, "Hey guys, I'm going to give you some constructive criticism." And little background, my sister is married, like heavy into God, which, you know, so are we, but she's like really into it, which is awesome. 3 kids, you know, happily married.
Yeah.
And I think that on the last
this is what she was saying.
Solo episode, I think I may have said marriage is just a paper trail. I don't not stand by that, but also she has given us just like a little bit of advice. And
that maybe what we put out there is what we're going to attract, right? Which is completely true. So,
and it also might not be entirely how we feel. You guys know I like to play the tough card.
Yeah, maybe because of some other experiences in our life, we might
trauma.
Okay. We all have it, you know? But we might have so-called defense mechanisms built up. And also she said that we make everything a joke and we like
that's true.
We mock everything.
Come on.
Which, like, it's the only way we cope with shit. But at the same time,
and everything's also really funny.
It is really funny. But it's not healthy and it's not something we should portray to the entire world because we don't always feel that way. Like,
No, we cry at night and like feel sad all the time. So.
And like want to be loved and like to act like we're too good for that or too tough for that or like we're, dogs. Like we're not. We might be.
No, we are dogs. I'm a fucking dog.
Hey, you're literally doing it currently. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to cut me off. This is what we're talking about. Exactly what we're talking about. She acts like such a bitch.
I didn't even mean to. It just came out of me. I didn't even want to say that.
You were like, no, you might be, but like you start foaming at the mouth. No, we're not.
I don't mean to.
Yeah.
Should tell I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's not going to be proud of this. Okay, the point is, what we're getting at is that we might have given advice.
And also a little bit too detailed of stories.
Oh, that too, yeah. She said that maybe we could potentially leave out some of the gruesome details when we're talking.
Pint of blood lost. Could have been left out.
That was my bad. And maybe like the gestures. Either way.
Our issue is everything we do, like normal people, the way that they tell stories and the way that they see things and the things that they think are funny is like here. What we have to do to get to that level is up here. And it's like extreme detail and annoying detail.
Yeah. That nobody else would even notice probably.
And like and saying like piss fuck shit at the end of everything.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
That's just the two of us.
Yeah.
And like not everyone needs to hear that or know that. So we're not gonna pull back, but we're gonna try.
And just edit a little bit.
Yeah.
The way that we tell our experiences, because at the end of the day, we don't want everyone to know absolutely everything, because then what are you all going to think of us after that?
You're gonna be scared.
As if you already don't think
and
that
you
we're...
should be scared.
You should. As if like we don't already portray like dirty, gruesome freak. Like we could come
maybe
off
be women.
Yeah, a little bit like a lady. Because
back to the love thing, because we do want to maybe find love.
No, stop. We've been talking about it and we mean it. See, it's so hard. Okay, and this is like a real thing. It's so hard to like actually talk about your feelings and like sensitive stuff because you just feel silly. And I know that you shouldn't. And we tried to preach that feelings, that it's...
I would have to be held at gunpoint.
Yeah. They make us uncomfortable. Feelings make us uncomfortable. So this is us trying to not be uncomfortable anymore. And you're going to watch it envelop in front of your very eyes. Hopefully as this thing continues on, you'll see growth within us too. And I'm being so serious right now.
That's you dead serious. Yeah. And for like the younger view, I don't know if people, I don't want to give off like, yeah, you should, protect yourself in certain areas, but also don't be afraid to, give some love, because that it's a big part. At the end of the day, it's all everybody wants.
Yeah.
I think I've said this before, but like if I'm saying it, everyone feels that way. Everyone wants it. I don't care how tough you are. Like you just want to be loved, and we're 28, and
we've been talking about it. We've been talking about settling down, We don't want to keep going out and going through,
Maybe it's the winter thing, because I just feel like if summer came right now,
we would feel differently.
And like there's no time to settle down right now, but it's just like you think about 2 years from now. That's 30, dude. And like we don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
Because I see people who are older and alone, and they're not, they're doing good. They're
fine.
okay, but they do want somebody. Everyone wants somebody. That's the whole point in life, I think.
Yeah.
People think that.
That's
I don't
what
know.
they say, like, love is like the most.
Or the people like on their deathbed, like if they're like,
you should have told her you loved her.
Love harder.
Yeah, exactly.
Fall in love more.
Fall in love with everything. That's the thing that people say is like fall in love with everyone and everything or something like that. Something like that. Not completely positive if it is actually a real thing.
But that's what we're gonna say. That's what we're gonna try and do.
So you heard it here first.
Any of the boys I'm talking to, I don't fucking mean this.
Hey.
I'm really hard. No, I'm a fucking softie. I'm a hardy and a softie. You just got to take an axe to me and just really
chip away at it.
Yeah.
But you're gonna try, and I'm gonna try, and that's all we can really do. It's all anyone can ask of us. So
this is us trying.
This is us vowing to be better and to be sweeter
for you guys.
Yeah, because we actually are, like you said, behind closed doors.
Yeah, we're sweet. We're nice. And I'm not evil. You painted me to be.
Also, I'm sorry. Okay, that's another thing that we were talking about. Like when I was saying that she makes you feel she makes me feel really fucking stupid. Sometimes it's my own trauma coming out, because that was like a huge thing with like my past toxic relationship, is he would make me feel so stupid, and like any question I had was the dumbest question, and like I couldn't do anything by myself. I couldn't do anything right. So I would always question everything I did, and I would always ask for permission before I did anything, because I would always be told that when I did it myself, it would get fucked up or whatever the case may be. I was really beaten down, like, oh my God. I like got tears in my eyes.
Wow.
No, it's like so sad. I was just like really beaten down and like had pretty much zero confidence. So when Brianna has an episode and it comes out and I feel like it's directed at me, like it's not your fault that I'm taking it a certain way.
Here's an example. Yesterday we were carrying boxes there's like a canopy area at the house, and we're just carrying these boxes, and I like go to set my part down, but like she's still pushing to put her side down. I'm like, just set it down. And she's like, well, I was gonna put it like under the canopy, like, and I'm like, no, just set it down right here. And then she was like, that wasn't like stupid of me, like in case it rains. And I'm like, I'm not saying you're stupid. That's a good idea, but it doesn't matter right now. It's not gonna rain today. Like, just little things.
But and then it'll be like you're laughing, but then I think you're like laughing because I'm stupid.
That's so crazy.
No, I know.
Because I'm laughing because it's like,
because you're laughing
so
because it doesn't matter, but I think that you're laughing at me because it was such a stupid idea. And that's how I take things. And then you come off so like chippy. So then it's like they just don't they like,
and I'm just chippy because I'm a dick.
Yeah.
But and like if you didn't have that past trauma, you'd be like, oh yeah, that was silly. Like, but you take it so personally because you were made to feel really, really stupid.
So both of us are at fault to some degree for that.
And it's true. And it's working around each other. But the point of this is also, for anyone watching, is that we just kind of realized that it painted me a little bit of
darker than it needed to be, because
and I you know, there's a lot of faults. If you know BPD, you know that it's a fucking bitch. But I'm very, you know, I got a lot of feelings too. Yeah. I'm very empathetic. So
no, you're very sweet and you deserve someone to love you. And if they can't fucking handle it, that's what we always say about both of us. If they can't handle it, they can't take the heat, like you shouldn't even be trying then at that point.
It's an exciting
because
life.
High risk, high reward.
Very high reward.
That's all I'll say.
But I feel like this is a good prelude to the I don't know what order there is, but to the post narcissist.
Oh yeah, we wanted to touch on I know we talked a lot kind of in the first episode about like narcissists and sociopaths and dating them, and like
sociopath is crazy.
That I mean,
yeah,
personally sociopath. I don't know if you
up.
have that same experience, but we talked a bit about it, and like we wanted to go beyond it and like what the aftermath of it is kind of like, because that's something, I mean, you're obviously still dealing with, and I, you know, even years later, like you don't realize that you are. And we just said like I have trauma from 3 years ago, and I'm still like crying about it. But anyways, that was your segue.
Yeah. So basically just like because we've gotten so many messages so many DMs.
Yeah.
You guys that are either in an abusive relationship or gotten out of one already, like, and are just trying to move on. The aftermath and like the science behind one, dating a narcissist or someone who's insane, and then leaving them and staying away, how you're going to feel afterwards. Like, even though there's so much freedom in it, there's also a lot of guilt and regret and wanting to go back and missing them. Like, it doesn't matter how much shit someone put you through, you're going to miss them and you're going to sometimes want to be with them again. And it like you feel insane because you're like, why would you ever want, like, you shouldn't want that. But it's just the chemistry and the science in your brain. When you are with somebody like that who puts you on this emotional roller coaster, highs and lows, and they fuck with your brain chemistry so much. And the scientists say that it is, you get so addicted to the chaos and to the whatever in the mess that it's like the same like high as being like addicted to like a drug, like heroin. Like, it fucks with your brain chemistry so much. And so when you leave something like that, you crave it. Like, you crave the chaos. When you have like when you get back to like steadiness and or if you try and, you know, maybe a year later, you try and date somebody who's really, really healthy. It's so fucking hard because you're constantly looking for like, what's wrong? Am I in trouble? Am I going to be yelled at?
The other shoe to drop. You're waiting for it all the time.
And if it's calm and if this is like a good person who's like healthy and it feels boring and you feel bored and like you just need mess and it's like, no, that's just because your brain is trying to re-heal itself from being so addicted to something that's so horrible for you. And it fucking sucks. And that's, I mean, I'm still, how many months? It's been what, like 8 months?
Yeah.
And I'm still dealing with that. And then like missing them. And like I, at least once a day, like think about everything and feel sad and like miss that person or the situation or whatever it was. Like, that's all completely normal. And you just have to remember that like the sadness that you feel for what, a couple minutes, whatever you feel now is nothing compared to the fucking hell you felt when you were in it. Plant. So it's okay to miss it. It's normal to miss it. That's any breakup, but especially like a breakup from a narcissist. It's not the same type of miss.
Yeah, don't mistake it for like you're supposed to go back to them or like you're missing them for a certain reason. Like, no. It is just the process, and that's like over time it'll go away too. Like,
because it wasn't real love. That's another really hard pill you have to swallow, is like understanding that they didn't actually ever love you. They loved you as much as they could have, but they're not capable of love. The only person they know how to love is themselves. So like, and that fucking sucks. And I still like am like,
are you sure?
Are you positive? Because sometimes I feel like you really did. And that's okay. And, you know, again, they do it as much as they know how to. But like, if they're a real narcissist, it's physically, they cannot love anybody. It's just, they're not capable of it. So you're not missing real love because it wasn't real love. You're just missing maybe the one high moment a week when they like acted like they liked you or something.
But that's because it's so intense. Like, the high is so intense because the lows are so intense. And that's like back to like the drug thing. Like, you're at this point withdrawing from whatever that was, you know?
I would like it to end now. And I also, you know, the sooner you can feel it, the better, because I pushed things off for a very long time. So I feel like I really didn't start grieving the whole thing until like 2 months ago.
Right.
Whereas I just like keep myself distracted. I really black things out, and then they come back and it's like,
and that's another circle back to the feelings thing, that we're trying to feel them more, because if we would have had this revelation even a couple months ago, the process would have started a lot sooner. But like, you know, you were too tough to, you know, I'm sad, like, no, pish posh, like, and then we just like went out all the time and drank all the time, and maybe it was covering up something. I don't know.
Maybe getting hammered 5 nights a week. could have been a coping mechanism. It was a fucking riot, though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It was a blast.
It was the ride of our lives, for sure.
Yeah, but now we're not doing that so much, so I think I'm just really feeling everything. And then, you know, dropping the first podcast, telling you guys everything, it was a lot, and bringing all that back up, and, like, it's just a part of my life. It's never going to go away. That's just something, like, even after that, you know, I'm obviously still getting a lot of questions. You guys are still really curious about a lot of things. And I just have to now, like, draw a boundary because the nightmares are crazy.
Yeah, you said what you needed to say. You said it as much as, like, appropriate for the situation. Like, you didn't need to go into any further detail. You didn't need to bring anybody else into it. Like, you gave the information that the audience needed to also move on from it, because that's another thing, is like, how are you expected to move on when, like, nobody else has? Like,
right. So now you guys know, and you know the truth. And what I want to do from now on is things like this, where it's like, let us help you out of something toxic and help to, I'm going to share my journey in healing. I don't want to go back, and I mean, things are going to be brought up sometimes just because it's like we can have a laugh over them.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be really helpful, like, me figuring out how to heal from all of this. If you guys are on the same journey, it'll help you too. Because it's fucking hard, bro. It is shitty, and you're not alone.
And also, with that being said, maybe who's ever watching this, stop asking her about him. You know what I mean? Like, you were given so much more information than, like, was ever anticipated to be shared. So if we could just aid in the healing process by not constantly fucking bringing it up. And
that's, like, past questions. I welcome future questions.
Just, like, specific ones about, like,
healing questions.
Him and stuff. Or, like, the
family. Like, I'm not going to talk about the family.
It's not going to happen.
No, it's not. And
Don't be greedy. You were given plenty.
Yeah.
Eat off that. Stop searching for more, because it
ain't going to happen.
And it's just too much.
Too much. All right. So yeah, that hopefully the advice on the abuse part helps. Anyone move forward.
And if you want to get married, get married. It's okay.
I respect your marriage.
We were talking about it last night. She was like, I mean, I wouldn't just marry any Joe Schmo, like, but if it was, like, someone, you know, with great merit, like, I would. And I'm like, well, yeah, you don't, like,
you wouldn't marry a Joe Schmo anyways.
In general, like, you wouldn't be dating them. You wouldn't fall in love with a Joe Schmo.
She was like, you wouldn't do that. Where'd the standards go?
No, what were we talking about when she was talking about the standards?
Oh, that was
we were talking about, because we're going to Texas this weekend, I think.
Yeah. And just, like, if we, like, met boys in Texas or something.
I have no clue.
I don't know, but
you said something with, like, I mean, whoever, and she's like, no, from the other
whoever.
room.
But we also, but we don't do that anyways. But no, the marriage, I still don't know that I would legally. But we said, like, we would do the ring thing, and I think I said along the lines of, like, if I, like, ended up being with somebody and it was, like, so important to them, and that person was, like, checked every single box on the whole list and was, like, the best person in the world, then, like, I would maybe consider it if it was, like, super important to them. But I still stand by my viewpoint that I'm still, like.
But I think being open to it for someone else is, like, the door's open and that's it. Like,
yeah, we'll leave it at that. I'm sorry. I'm you obviously still very tense.
Scared.
I'm a little skittish around the topic, so we're talking about it. That's about as much as I can do right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a big deal though. Like, when I think about it, like, my first time, like, being proposed to is completely, like,
you were engaged entirely.
Yeah, like, that is ruined for me. And, like, I can't imagine that happening again, or, like, in what way would I accept it and appreciate it, just because it's, like, it seemed so.
That was just, like, a whole play, though.
But that's what I'm saying. It seemed for so many other reasons besides like the reason it was supposed to be for. So like for me in my head, it's like that it was just done just because.
Right. And it
like it's not that big of a deal to me anymore, and I feel like it should be, and that sucks.
But that's that's another point though. It's because we're alone. But it's like if you found if you found the right person and you wanted that to happen and it did happen, it would feel like the first time because it would be real. It wasn't real with. He's a fucking psychopath. Sorry.
Bleep that out. Please.
Damn it. I hate the edit because now we're going to have to go through the clips and go bleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
our 2 cents on everything that we've previously talked about. We wanted to recap it and share a different opinion about it. I don't know. We rambled on for such a fucking long time.
I know, we always do that. I know.
But I hope it all made sense.
What's next? What's our next topic? We're doing topics today, and we're getting chatty. And I did ask you guys, but every single question was either
about him or
OnlyFans or I don't know what else. But they were all pretty aligned with one another.
Yeah.
Sorry. We had a bunch of coffee. I'm so skittish and shaky.
My hands, if you see me keep doing this, it's because they're so
I know.
sweaty.
I keep fucking with my rings. I have my giant Harley Davidson ring on, and it says "Live to Ride" and "Ride to Live," and it just falls off my finger.
So we met, and I'm not going to go into the gory details of it, but I am going to bring up how we met those boys with all the tattoos, and then they were wearing a bunch of rings and like jewelry. So then we're like, that's something
have to get rings and jewelry.
Something we do is like when we meet people, we suddenly take on their persona, not like personality, but like what they are in general. So like,
and I like love that look, like the ring tatted vintage look. And so now then we bought a bunch of shit and I brought my big ring out,
a bunch of vintage looking stuff, and like I was looking at like really like hard like metal jewelry all week. Like you just be one person for a little bit. But that's the thing, is we're chameleons.
Yeah,
we can be anybody. You're a fisherman today, and
bonsoir.
I don't know. I feel like P. Diddy.
That's more accurate.
Yeah, that's not even his name
it's
anymore.
just the hat too. Like we have normal clothes on. It's just the hats.
Yeah.
But the tattoo thing, I have a really funny story.
Oh wait, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. At one point in life, I was at a boy's house, and
you were snuggling.
Ew. Seriously?
Sorry.
Seriously? We were laying down
together in unison.
Okay, we were fucking cuddling. And I had my like head on his chest. And he has covered in tattoos. And on his chest, he has a tattoo of Jesus himself with the thorn crown. And so I'm like laying sideways, so I can't see it from like bird's eye view, you know? I'm on the side and I'm like tracing the face, and I tap it and I go, who's she?
He goes, Jesus Christ.
No, that's not what he said. I go, who's she? And he sits up, our Lord and Savior with the fucking with the thorn crown, and we like dying, and it's Jesus's face.
Is it in the middle of his chest?
Directly centered, yeah.
Like huge?
Yeah. It's the whole chest. Awesome. And I
who's she is crazy.
Is crazy.
Hey, I'm sorry.
That's what I look up. I'm so sorry. I didn't
we
mean
got
it.
Bad eyes.
Bad eyes, and I was at a parallel that I didn't.
You were at a disadvantage.
Yeah, I was at a disadvantage. And he will remember me forever as the idiot who,
which is fine,
claims to love God.
better to be remembered.
Her Lord and Savior. No, I'm sorry. It was funny. That was a story that I had. Wait, next up you have body enhancement.
Oh yeah. Body
image.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about
We're on the topic of tattoos and shit. I don't know when we thought of this, but because we have a very hard time with self-image.
Mm-hmm. A horrible time with it, which is so funny because like on the internet, no one would ever think that.
No,
obviously.
But that's I think everyone in the whole world today. Yeah. I don't know a single person who like is like, I love everything about myself.
Yeah, and if you do, good for fucking you. I can't possibly imagine.
Yeah, so we basically just wanted to touch on body image and also like things
like enhancements that you get done and like things that we've had done and how you feel about it after, kind of. And
like maybe regrets. Maybe
what, the lips? No. Hey, fuck you guys, okay? The lighting in the other studio, and I'm not saying they're perfect because they're not, and I knew that they were like migrating, my lips were migrating, but the lighting in the other studio is so direct that you can see all the migration of my filler, which I never noticed before. You're with me every day. Like I've never see it in like real life. But then in all the videos, it looks all fucked up. And I didn't know that, and I didn't do it on purpose. And obviously you get lip filler because you have tiny little thin pencil fucking ugly lips. And
you've always had big. Here's the thing about you though. This is the self-image thing. You've always had great lips. I had pencil drawn on lips. You had great lips, and okay, we may have overfilled. Mine disappears, but you went on a little trailblazer there for a minute.
But it was before we started getting them done in LA. Like I had the migration. Like last time we were there, at Beauty Lounge, she was like, "It's all my like." She had her hands in my mouth, and she was like, "It's all migrated under here." Do you remember that?
No.
Yes.
I think I was checked out for that portion.
Probably. But she had felt it and said that it was, and I'm like, "Well, what the fuck?" And that's why she only did a little bit on my bottom lip. So like, I have to wait for it all to dissolve. Like, I don't want to get the shit that hurts and burns, and then.
And you also just don't need them. Like they're huge. Like they're perfect. You don't need any more. They're great. Yeah.
But no.
So the point
is, I fucking know they look bad. I'm waiting for it to dissolve. Don't comment on it anymore, okay?
And don't feel the need to, try a lip flip.
That's what we've been thinking about. A lip flip is the Botox, like, at the top, and it just, like, pulls your lip up instead of filling them.
I think Tana, God bless her. God love you, Tana.
Yeah.
She, I think, stopped
getting filler and gets a lip flip, and it looks good. But that's what I think if I ever... when the time comes, I'd get a flip because the filler just doesn't fucking... It doesn't say where it's supposed to say.
And I know you've seen my under eyes, and I'm just going to draw attention to them. That's okay. It's been my whole life. I had horrible bags my whole life, still have, like since 5th grade. In 5th grade, I remember like vividly, like on the way to school on the bus, I would keep like an ice like water bottle like on my eyes to try and like take the puffing away, like all throughout elementary school, middle school. I would like walk through the halls with my head down. I wouldn't even like look people in the eye because I just like was so self-conscious of them. So a couple years ago, I got under eye filler. And the first time I got it done, it was great. And I was like, oh my God, this saved my life. Like it looked so good. It like took them away so much. And with under eye filler, you only need it done like once a year. I waited 1.5 years, got it done again, and I don't know what the fuck happened, but it migrated like right here, and it's like raised right
like
there.
Like a ridge, kind
There's like a fucking ridge now, and now it's like I have a double bag, and now it's 10 times worse than it was before. So, and I don't know if it's the person or what,
or the
like
product.
Now the only ways to fix it is I have to do this. It's not even worth dissolving because it might be worse than it was before. So it's just, point being, just love yourself and think about things before you do them.
Yeah.
Because it might look good in the moment, and then 2 years later, you might look all fucked up like this. So
and it might look worse than when you started or what you think you looked like when you started. But I don't think there's obviously anything wrong with having work done if it makes you feel better about yourself, because
love it.
Yeah.
We love the Botox. We love
Botox is awesome. Fillers are awesome. I mean, I got cheek and chin filler and I didn't have any issues with that, and I feel like it made my face more symmetrical, and it's just a little bit here and there, and that shit dissolves pretty quickly too.
Yeah, we are advocates for work being done. Trust me.
And even if it looks like shit, I want it done. But that's not any advice that anybody should take, because we're trying to self-love, so you should self-love, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But
just do your research and just go to somebody good, I guess is the point, because we found somebody really, really good in California. And she just like looked at us and was like,
that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that looks like shit. And we're like,
knew what the previous person had done wrong and like is now trying to correct those things.
And it's going to take a long time for that to be corrected. Like, I don't even know how long it actually takes for that shit to really dissolve.
Yeah, I don't know either.
So now we're backpedaling.
And that's just the face. Let's move on to the body.
Yeah, the body.
Body love is so hard. And we have been trying, we cut out sugar entirely from our diets right now.
One day we woke up, I think you were kind of in a bad mood already this day. We went to the gym and something happened. The lighting was weird and you were looking at your legs and then I forgot. I don't need to eat 3 sugar cookies every day.
Because I don't need to eat that many cookies a day.
Yeah.
I was on a...
But it makes you happy and that's what like is
yeah,
also
in the
important.
moment.
Yeah.
But like I don't need that every day. If you want to eat 3 cookies a day, eat 3 cookies a day. But me, the way that I do things and like my obsessive compulsive, I do one thing and I have to do it every single day. So it's not even like, even if I didn't want the fucking cookie, I have to eat it because...
Well, then it's like 9 o'clock hits and that's when you have your sweet treat and it just happened to be a cookie.
And like a pure sugar cookie. Whatever. The point is, and we're trying this because we're just trying to feel good. But I think body image in general, as 2 people who really struggle with it, I've had several eating disorders. Yeah. I'm still in recovery of those eating disorders, but you have to do it in such moderation. I'm probably like, I don't even know how many years. This is like my first year that I've, in like 7 or 8 years that I've been able to like eat normal foods, really feel like I have like freedom with eating. I think I was like 21 when I was like soup. Did we talk about that before on here?
A little bit. Kind of.
Yeah, we did. The blueberry thing. We talked about the almonds and shit. Yeah. So now being like, you know, recovering from it, there's just so much freedom and it's like
almost too much.
Yeah. And then the drinking and it's like just taking care of yourself and, you know, staying active. This is another thing we do. We like aggressively, we either do things to 100
or not at all.
Or that's the only thing we know how to do. So I saw a video of this girl who was like, I walk 15,000 steps a day. And I said, okay, we're going to walk 15,000 steps a day.
So then we started walking 6 miles a day. And it would take us like 2 hours to do this. So then half the day, because it gets dark at 5 o'clock now, half the day is gone because we're just walking back and forth on the fucking driveway, which is great. But we're doing it every day and like there's no moderation. There's no like switching other things in. I'm just like walking. Now we have to walk and then it's not enjoyable anymore. So no, we fucking hate it now.
Find things that you love to do to stay. You could go rollerblading, ride a fucking bike.
We want to get rollerblades.
Yeah, we do want to get rollerblades.
But like variety,
opposed to becoming bored with like your routine.
And then you stop doing it altogether. That's the thing. Like, or with eating, we eat the same healthy thing every single day and we never fucking eat it again, and that completely nixes it from the diet. Like I was making eggs with like a bunch of vegetables in it in the morning.
No more vegetable egg.
And now we won't eat it again.
That's because I found a worm, okay? I'm gonna say it. I found a fucking worm in the avocado. I don't know.
Because it's like the tiny worm that's like in an apple, but I think it was in the avocado. I'm not confident it was actually a worm, but in my head it was a fucking worm. And then the whole day I was nauseous thinking about it. So now we haven't had avocado since then, but that's just, and then the avocado was paired with the eggs. So now we can't have that type of egg anymore. And
no more veggie egg.
And then that nixes like a whole like nutritious and protein packed breakfast.
We're still eating this. We're doing a scramble.
But I'm just saying like
classic scramble without 17 vegetables in it is normal and
but either
still
way,
good.
We just like ruin shit and then it like gets completely taken off the roster. So like doing things in moderation and keeping yourself guessing with the variety is probably the best way to do anything in life, and don't do it all at once.
And don't feel like you have to be super skinny because, and I know, people, if I like say that I'm not skinny, like I would get attacked because I know I have a great body. I love my body. That doesn't mean that I don't look at myself and think like, you know, I was skinnier a year ago or see videos and think like that. Everybody thinks like that. Body types are not supposed to be rail thin. There are people that are rail thin and they might have a disorder too. They might.
Or that's just their genetics.
Or that's just their body type. That's just their genetics. They're just born that way and they can eat whatever they want. Some people aren't meant to be rail thin, and that's awesome.
Well, and your body sits at a weight that it's comfortable with. Like, if it keeps going back to that same weight, it's because that's the weight it needs to be. So, like, you desperately try to get it down to 120 or whatever the fuck it is, and then you keep getting back to 130, 130, 130, because that's where it's supposed to be. That's where your body runs the best. You know what I mean? Like, you try so hard to fight it where there's ways to,
and then you're all weak and tired all day.
Yeah.
Or if you just really get a lot of enjoyment from food. That's awesome.
Yeah. Because don't take that happiness away.
That's Gina's, like, favorite thing.
Yeah, which sucks. Because
but it's also beautiful because that's like a chef thing.
Yeah.
And you just, like, appreciate food.
Yeah, I really do. It's my favorite thing to do. It's my favorite, like, activity is cooking. So, like.
And it's God's gift to earth, man.
Ugh.
We praise the Lord for eating. And I love it now, too.
Yeah.
Spaghetti and meatballs is my favorite meal right now, and it's so good.
I'm gonna cry the day that it gets taken off of the rotation.
We do it sparingly. Like, that's a meal that you do, like, we just, like, the acid, we can't do it every day. So it's a good it's a good breakup.
Also,
it's a good in between.
Back to the, like, body type thing, especially, like, when you're around people. Like, for instance, Brianna is super tall and super skinny. You can't look at other people and compare yourself to them, because that's what I do. Like, I'm short and stumpy compared to her. And I'm not saying by any means, like, I look a certain way or don't look a certain way, but, like, I'm always unhappy with my body. And then I look at her and I'm like, oh, great. Like, and then in my head, I think that this is so fucked up. And I
feel so bad.
No, but you shouldn't. I'm just saying,
I know that. I know.
And then I always make the joke, like, oh, and it's, I hate saying it because, like, it is a fucked up thing to say, and other people are going to feel a certain way about it. But, like, I'm always like, oh, you're going to bring your fat friend. Like, I'm always, like, talking about
she always thinks that, yeah.
And, like, there's ways to take pictures of your body that look better than what it does in real life. You know what I mean? So, like, there might be pictures of me online that look really good, but, like, I am really, really good at posing and really good at finding the lighting that makes it look like my body's better than it is, which that's how everybody is that posts on the internet. And I'm trying to like my body not just in those pictures that it looks good, and I'm not trying to look at a 5'10" or rounding up blonde skinny person when I'm 5'4".
Yeah, I'm very tall, you guys. That's another thing. Tall people are just naturally, like, leaner. My torso is so long.
It's double the size of mine.
It is double. Jeans, like, I can't even explain it. It is so freaking long. Yeah. So you can't, it's just two completely different human beings and body types. But my legs are bigger than yours. Like, the cellulite on my legs, and it's hereditary. It's unreal.
You know what else is hereditary? The bunions. We both have bunions.
I have 4.
That's the one thing when I first started dating my ex-fiance.
That's crazy.
He was like, this is when he was really nice because they love bomb you in the beginning. And he was like, oh my God, like, do you even have a flaw? And I was like, dude, I didn't want to have to do this, but, like, I just need you to sit down, okay? And it's like, okay, like, what are you fucking talking about? I'm like, okay, I'm going to show you my flaw. I have one, and it's there. And I'm going to show it to you, okay? Like, don't fucking freak out. And I showed him my bunion. I'm not going to show you guys because I'm embarrassed, and it's gotten worse since then. I'm hiding it right now.
It's really big. It is really big.
Yeah. I only have one, though.
I
have only my
4.
1 foot.
4, okay?
And I showed him my bunion. He's like, that's your flaw. And I was like, yeah, dude, like,
And if you don't know what a bunion is, it's the bone on your foot, like,
I can't
on
even
each
show
side
mine
of your foot.
Everyone would scream.
And I have one on my pinky and one on my big toe on
but
both feet.
And then your toes, like, kind of start to.
Your toe, like, goes
but
inwards.
It's hereditary. My grandma, they're basically overlapping, baby. Like, that shit. And I'm on my way there, and I don't want to be there, but it is.
But that's your beautiful body.
That's my bloodline, and I'm not gonna nix them because
We stand true.
Yeah.
We stand true with the nibs.
That's not the Italian blood, though. The bunion. That's wherever the fuck my mom's from.
Not Italian.
The Irish shit or whatever. No, I'm just saying.
Maybe it's Irish. Because I got a little bit of me.
No, I don't, it's far beyond where the ancestors are actually from. Huh?
What's next on the list is chrome farts, which is
Okay. So this was like right after. So I moved out to go to college, and then from college I moved in with the boy, and then that was for like 4 years. So I hadn't lived at home since like basically high school. Well, then we broke up and I had nowhere to go, and I had my dog and I was crying and whatever. My parents like had their basement ready and made for me. So I moved back in with my parents for like a couple years after that. And that's a hard adjustment. Like going from being super independent, you have your own house, like you make dinner, you do the laundry, like you pay the bills, you know, a lot of responsibility to going to living under your parents' roof, and they can hear every phone call you have, and like
back home. Wah,
yeah.
wah.
Yeah. And I just felt like such a loser, and like you shouldn't, because it's always good to have people around you that love you and like to save money. Like it's not,
dude, stay at home for as long as you can.
As long as you can.
It is so dope.
But I just felt so like trapped kind of, because I felt like my freedom was taken away when it really wasn't. Like my parents are so fucking cool. Like I could literally why was I gonna say this? Like I didn't need to say what I was about to say. Like I could take a dump in the living room and they'd be like, fuck yeah. Like they wouldn't, but they would. Like I could do anything and they would be like, you know what? We're so fucking proud of you, Gina. Yeah, like everything I do, best, like man. They are so proud of me, and I could fucking cry. But I was living in my parents' basement and I had like a weed pen, so I was getting high in the basement like a lot. Like high to the point where like I had to get high to fall asleep. Like I had to get high to escape from like the reality that I was in. Like
God, you would be so hot. Like but I 6 p.m.
Yeah, because I was crying a lot. Like I was really upset all the time. Yeah, so it was like nice to get off the earth for a little bit. And amongst all of this, like when you're super high and you find shit on the internet and you're like cracking up and you think it's so funny. And I was like looking at a lot of memes, and then I was like, oh, like I should make my own. Like that would be so sick. So now me in a completely different mindset, I make a meme account. And the first name, it was called What Are You Doing in My Swamp? Because like I have this thing where I think Shrek is funny, where it's like not that funny, but to me it is. And then I changed it to Chrome Farts, because like it's like I like fashion, like Chrome Hearts, like a play on like that with like anything that you add fart into. What did you say the other day? I don't know. We were like going through movies and it was like the Heartbreak Kid or like something like that, and you go the Fart Break Kid or something stupid. Either way, it's so fucking not funny. But I named it Chrome Farts. So then I started making these memes on this on like apps called like Meme-matic or something so stupid. So I'd like find a picture and then I would make the memes like a paragraph long. Like my memes so are never funny. Short. And I was logged out of it for like, that was like 2 or 3 years ago that I was doing this like all the time. And only like my close friends knew about it, because like it's not funny and the internet shouldn't see that. Like, but it's
so what do I do the other night?
She rediscovered Chrome Farts and she posted it on her story for everybody to see. And my phone is just like all these fucking people following Chrome Farts. Someone even commented, he goes, he was like, this is so not funny. Is that why it's supposed to be funny or something like that? And I was like, yeah, it's exactly why. And also it's only funny if you know me, because then you can like hear me, like my voice saying
it's
it.
It's like our humor, and it's so annoying and stupid, but it's so like I was crying sobbing, looking at them,
because it just is so like I was gonna say something else.
And the bio. What's the bio?
This is my swamp now. It's like the emoji that has like the like think like the smoke coming out of his nose. But it's just funny, like picturing me alone, like making these with no one knowing that I'm doing it, and like no one behind me laughing, like it's just me. And you know what? That's really pure. So I started it back up again.
So if you want a good laugh, go to Chrome Farts.
Or not.
You're going to go there and you're going to be like, why did I end up here?
Yeah.
You might not get it, and that's okay.
It's not meant to get, because we're meant to get got. And if if you're not doing the getting, you're doing the gotten. You know what I'm saying? If you don't get got, you got to get.
Seriously? Ted Bundy kitchen scene reference?
Oh, okay. This is circling back to the marriage thing, kind of, I guess.
Yeah, and I think, and just like our personalities and like things that I don't, the thing about me and the issue that I have with myself is I don't actually know what I like or don't like, because I have convinced myself, and this could tie in a bit to the whole like narcissist thing again, whatever. But I, for so long in that relationship, had to convince myself that I was going to be alone and I was okay with that I wanted to be alone, that I didn't want anybody, like completely manipulated my brain into being okay with that, and into being okay with, you know, knowing somebody was constantly cheating on me, for lack of a better term, and that I was okay with that too. So now in my brain, I think that I don't care about anything and that I don't want anything and that I'm good being alone for the rest of my life, which I just know can't be true. So that's could be, you know, another thing to touch on. So now things happen and I'm like, so this is ties into that, is, you know, maybe trying to retrain my brain after all those years. But the movie with Zac Efron being Ted Bundy.
Yeah. The wickedly evil, blah, 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 whatever, on Netflix. Yeah.
And so we're watching it and she comes into the kitchen and she like, they fall asleep together, like a one night stand thing, but she has a kid. And she wakes up and he's not in bed next to her. And she runs into the kitchen and sees him with an apron on.
Like cooking breakfast.
Cooking her breakfast, making her coffee, like the kid's in the high chair. And I go, if I walked into that, I would grab the knife and say, get out. Like,
and simultaneously while she's saying this, and she's like, I would, and I was like, I would, like, get on one knee or whatever. And like, we look at each other, we start cracking up because like she thought that I was going to agree that I would be like, oh, like so gross, like fuck no. And I was like,
yeah. And that's like her dream, like somebody cooking her breakfast. And like, the other day you were like, when's the last time you had breakfast in bed? And I'm like,
never.
When the fuck would I ever,
I don't think I have either.
Breakfast in bed. But like, I would walk into like a man cooking breakfast and be like, you son of a bitch.
For whatever
and
reason.
Why?
I don't know.
That's like a nice thing to do. And I just am repulsed by it for no reason.
Repulsed is a strong word. That's sad.
No, yeah, it is a strong word.
But I mean it.
Yep. And you would love that.
Yeah. But
yep.
That's what we're just working on. This episode is us, what's the word that I'm thinking of? We're like taking back things and we're
I think just say what you mean. You don't need to search for the word.
No, I gotta search for the word.
You don't need to know what the word is. Because there might not be a word. I think just, you know, maybe taking the mask off and not coming off to the whole internet like personally. I feel no pain and I'm a big dickhead. Shield of metal.
Yeah. Because it's not.
No, I'm not. I feel sadness all day.
No,
every day.
No,
I do every day.
I wouldn't say all day though.
Not all day.
Yeah.
Some days all day. That's just the fun of it. That's just the disorder talking.
Yeah. Okay.
OnlyFans. I did want to touch on it a bit because a lot of you guys had questions about maybe starting an OnlyFans, having an OnlyFans, this, that, and the other.
Tips and tricks, stuff like that.
And so we did want to do a little bit of chatting about OnlyFans because it is incredibly profitable if you do it right. And if you know the right ways to do it.
Yeah.
And we also have two different perspectives because me, somebody with a lot of followers on social media, having those platforms to promote it.
It's very different from being just like a regular Joe, which is like what I was when I started mine.
Yeah,
like,
Gina just hit 10,000 on Instagram.
Oh, woo!
Woo! It was a big milestone for her, and she was very wanted to get over the, you know, us being in a partnership. She wanted to feel like
I had some weight in it too, because it is like, and I do know that we're all over the map. Whatever, I'm just gonna fucking say it. I know that you guys are all mainly here, obviously, because you love Brianna and like you want to see her. And like some people are like, who's the fucking brunette? And she's ruining it. And she's, but like I'm a person too, okay?
No, if you get me, you get her. That goes for
and like
anything.
We're the best versions of ourselves when we're with each other. So like you see her and you like love her right now and like whatever, but it's like she's like that because she's open in front of me.
Yeah.
And because we feed off each other. So you can't shit on me because that means you're indirectly shitting on her.
Yeah. You shit on
one.
And
I'm very thankful that like I'm being brought into the situation too, because nobody has to do that. No one has to like give a hand to anybody, you know, like she worked hard for the place that she's at now. And like, no one, like, I don't want to call it a handout, but like, you know, rising to the top was, you know, being on someone's coattails. Like, I'm very aware of that situation. I'm very thankful to be in like the environment that I am, you know what I mean? And like, I know everything, and I know that I'm lucky, and I know that maybe I'm annoying because you didn't want to see me, but you have to. So.
You have to. You get me and you get her. And you should be very grateful for that, because you just give it. You're the funniest person I know, dude.
Give me a chance.
Like, the funniest person. And that's like 2 people commenting that. Everybody else loves you, so don't.
And it's always men. They're always so pissed. And it's like, all right.
Men are always pissed, man. It's all the hate
it's
comments
only
are always
ever
men.
It's only men.
What was the point of this? OnlyFans. So.
Oh, yeah.
Having a smaller following compared to having a larger following, and how that's going to impact you promoting yourself, you making money. Because I think it's a very incredibly, I mean, it changed my life. OnlyFans did. Like, I can't even explain the money, and it's so like, and I get people have, you know, their views on it, whatever. I don't give a shit. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for it. I'm able to support my family. My family doesn't give a fuck where the money's coming from.
Yeah.
They're fucking chilling for free on 100 acres.
Yeah, Bob retired. Like,
they're retiring. They're going on vacation. I'm paying everyone's bills. Like, it doesn't matter. And if you hate it, that's cool. I respect you for having
understandable whatever.
A different viewpoint from it. But me personally, I would never point anyone in the wrong direction. I would never say don't do that, because it completely changed my life. But that is because I was given a platform, and I was, you know, given a lot of things. I'm very lucky to have ended up where I did. So, you know, with that being said, not having a lot of followers, it is going to look different, and you're not going to see, you know, I did OnlyFans back before I had a lot of followers, and it was a lot different. It's, you know, you're not, Gina can explain more so.
So you have, yours is like sheer numbers, you know what I mean? Like, you have hundreds of thousands of people. Like, it's a lot of back and forth, but it's like, when you have a smaller following, you obviously get a smaller amount of fans, and those are very like, they're very like, what's the word I'm thinking? Like, the conversations, like, you have to be right on top of it. Like, you only have 10 people chatting you know what I mean? So like, you have to be very attentive. This is not what I mean.
No, because that's for the big audience too. So that's not correct.
It's just so much more different when like you're relying on 10 people or 100 people to like make money off of, where when you're given a platform, and then you have that platform transfers over, and you have 100,000 people that you're sending something to, like, the odds of like it hitting are way better. So like it's kind of a lot more pressure when you have the smaller amount, you know, like that's how it was for me. Like, I was so, which like when we first got together, you were like, dude, just send it. Like, who cares like what it looks like? Where to me, when I was doing it on my own, I'm like, well, fuck, it looks like this. And like, what are they going to think?
She was like editing everything really, like, you know, being very particular. And I'm like, you know, this is what you're going to get in real life. Right. So I'm going to send you whatever the fuck I look like. I'm not going to worry about like if I look fat or if I look this or that. Like, I'm sending it because if you're in front of me, that's what you're seeing. And I, you know, when you have a bigger audience, you learn that doesn't matter as much. Like, they want to know you.
Yeah.
They want to feel like they're connected to you. They're seeing more of you than anybody else gets to see regularly on the internet. So making it personalized like that, and not having it be like you would something you would post on Instagram.
Or like I would take a bunch of pictures and I only liked 2 of myself. So then there's only 2 pictures in a set, and like that's not what they want. You know what I mean? Like you
send the dirties.
Yeah.
Send the raw unfiltered image.
Uncut.
Yeah. They want to fucking see it. And it is a lot of work. And also, you know, don't get pressured into sharing more of yourself than you're comfortable with, because that's not going to matter at the end of the day. It's the extra, whatever you make from it, that's not important. Like, stick to your guns, stick to what you want. I still get, you know, I get people pissed all the time because you're not getting.
Well, that's like another part of it when it's like you have a smaller audience. I would get like fucking bullied.
Yeah.
Like people would be so mean to me and it would sit with me all day, like because they weren't seeing what they wanted to see or what they thought, which is the worst part, what they thought they deserved to see.
Yeah. I get that in my DMs every single day.
Because they're giving you money and they think that they deserve to see more. And like it hits harder when like you need that $30 or whatever it might be that like he's willing to pay to see it. Like,
don't.
Yeah. It just like,
if you're not comfortable, don't. If you are comfortable,
more power to you.
Who gives a fuck? More power to you. But we don't show our nips. Yeah. We don't show, you know, below the belt. I'm going to play around it, but I'm not going to, you're not seeing that. And that's for, you know.
And that's what we're comfortable with. Like,
and it does feel good, you know, if I'm talking to somebody or like explaining it to somebody and being like, I don't like show my nipples or my crotch.
That's like,
they're like, oh really? And I'm like, yeah. No. Like, and you can still make, you know, depending on how you promote yourself and how much work you put into it, you can still make a very good.
I was paying my bills like when I lived in California, like that it kept me afloat. Like,
yeah. And that's her having like even less following that she has now.
Right. And that it was way less. And that was like, I wasn't doing it as much as I am. Obviously, like now it is a full-time job where like back then I was only doing it, you know, as much as I could. I had like a couple other jobs that I was like working on, whatever. But like it was like so few and far between when I was doing it. And it was still like making money enough to like pay rent, where now like is an all-day job. You know what I mean? But then you get more out of it when you put more into it. So that's like the biggest thing I can say.
Just
and like
have fun. It's fun, dude. Taking content, like getting
creative
ready and feeling like you feel really good.
Yeah.
Like,
and you feel really accomplished too when you like do. I don't know. That's the
best
thing
job.
I can say is get creative, because shit sells. Anything sells. Like you wouldn't imagine what people are into. And
they're into anything and everything.
And it's fucking easy. Like once you get the hang of it, once you understand like that it can literally be anything. Like it could be a photo of fucking anything.
Yeah.
And like it still is some sort of innuendo, or you know, like there's a way to like sexify anything.
Yeah. It's awesome, man. And I don't care if it's, you know, because that one reel that I did, the Jesus and OnlyFans one is at like 4 million, and people calling me a whore and a prostitute and all this stuff. And it's like, I don't even.
Yeah, it's not what I am actually. So.
But I don't care. Like what your path is in life is what it is. And we worked our asses off every job you could ever imagine before we got this life. And we're very thankful for it. And you get handed this shit and you see that money. I don't give a fuck.
Hell no.
Whether I'm fucking taking a nudie or I'm like, I worked at the restaurants. I shoveled shit. I did X, Y, and Z. So I'm grateful. And I'm going to keep taking those nudes.
Yeah.
From my amazing subscribers. I fucking love you.
I love you. But
yeah, man,
if you're thinking about it, test the waters.
Test
that's
the
the
waters.
thing, is you can always just delete it and that's it. Like, and on OnlyFans, like it's illegal to share like what's on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
shit happens.
If you're gonna get leaked, and that's if you are somebody, whatever. Like leaks are just bound to happen, and that's fine. But I will say, try and build your social media platforms as much as you can, so that you can promote yourself there. That's what's gonna do the best. Use Twitter. Twitter, you can post anything. So
and TikToks, like sexy TikToks are that's like what our
you gotta be thirsty on TikTok, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I tried not doing thirst traps for a while because I just like I don't know. I just wasn't feeling hot for a second.
Yeah.
But like you do thirst traps on TikTok and Reels. Instagram Reels are fucking crazy right now.
Reels,
they're better than
dude.
TikTok. Use them. I gained like 20,000 followers in the past like 2 weeks.
And yeah.
I was just losing, and now we're back up. So
yeah. But the point is, you have to just be more active on all socials. You got to post.
Every day, dude.
It's a second job. It is not like something. If you want to actually see money from it, you have to think of it as a second job, and that's the end of it. You have to do it every day.
You have to do it every day. I'm a testament for that, and I stopped. I didn't post for like a fucking month at one point, and it was this worst thing I've ever done. And my socials reflected it, and now I'm back to trying to post every single day, and we're going back up. So stick to it.
One more thing that I was thinking about, because you were saying how like when like having a small following and a large following like is very different. That's another thing I will say is when you have a smaller following on OnlyFans, you find that there's people that you know, or like people that you went to high school with, or like people you know very well. Maybe even people that are friends with your exes, like people that you like thought were your friends. And it's so much more apparent because there's such like less people that you're interacting with. Like you find that you like
spit it out, dude.
I know. We're gonna have to cut this out because I can't think of exactly what I mean. Basically, what I'm getting at is like there's gonna be like sometimes like things that make you uncomfortable because it is someone that you know, and like it's okay to like not take money from them.
Don't engage with people that you're not comfortable engaging with, and if you recognize that, it's okay to block them.
And that's what,
like, and I had to. Did you ever do it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
but that's what I had to do. Like, there was somebody that was like friends with my ex that I kind of thought I was cool with, and like harassing me for like more and more and more on OnlyFans, and then he started on Instagram. Like, why won't you answer me? Like, just like crazy shit. And like that's what I'm saying is like
I think men. I'm not gonna say just men, but people with certain mindsets who don't respect you will think that they can get things out of you, thinking that you're more comfortable. Like those fucking kids who FaceTimed you and they were like, hey, can you send us a picture?
Yeah. That was not nice.
That was fucked up, dude.
And those are like people from high school. Like that's something.
If we ever come across, I'm going to beat the fuck out of that
That's
kid.
something like you need a thick skin with this too, is because people will create like an idea of you in their head and they think that you're a certain way. And they think that, oh, you know, she doesn't care. So, like, you know, because she does OnlyFans. Like,
that was so weird.
But, yeah, it was like these two kids that I went to, like, college with, like, FaceTime me out of the blue. And I've never FaceTimed them before. But
this was like a month ago, too. Yeah. 2 months ago.
And he calls me off of, like, his friend's number and is like, oh, hey, like, you know, we're in a hotel for a wedding. Like, so, like, he mentioned something about my OnlyFans. And he was like, yeah, so we were hoping you'd send us a picture. And I was like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, just, like, nasty shit, and they think that you will just like give it away for free or like whatever the fuck. They think they're entitled to it because it's already on the internet. Well, no, you have to fucking pay for it.
Create a fake username like everybody else. And if you just use a fake name,
please
just use a fake name. The dude that she was talking about with the ex or whatever used his real fucking name.
No, he didn't.
Who used the real name?
He used a fake name. And then told me what his fake name was on Instagram.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It just like, you just have to, you got to think of it as work. You got to compartmentalize that portion and then keep it there.
And get thick skin. Just get thick skin. It's good training for life and to not put up with anyone's shit and just to stick to your own moral compass and do what you're comfortable with. That's it. And you can find success with it. And we did. And that leads me to the farm with purpose. Oh yeah. This was really beautiful.
Nice. Yeah.
So a lot of the questions on the thing where you guys wanting to hear about the farm, know more about the farm, and we had a big development this week and it was really exciting. So our donkeys needed their feet trimmed really bad, and we were calling a million different farriers. Nobody would answer the fucking call. Nobody would come out. And I'm like stressing out because our girl, Allie, her feet they just like curl under, and you can tell that she's like walking a little bit uncomfortably. And I'm like not being able to sleep at night because I'm just thinking about her fucking feet. And I'm like, how can I be in here when she's out there hurting? And she also doesn't let us touch her. I can like sometimes get like a little forehead rub in, but that's kind of it. And she'll like whip her head away and like walk away uninterested. So we finally get a hold of this farrier, and him and his son come out day of. And I'm like, are you the Lord himself? Like, where did you come from?
Charlie Brown.
His name's Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown, we love you.
Love you so much. You guys are the shit. Comes out. We like put them in like one of our little tiny front pens. And he takes Brown, which is our brown girl donkey. We named her Brown.
Sorry, dude.
We were just calling her Brown because we didn't like have a name for her yet.
And now it's stuck, and I feel fucking bad. But
I fucking love it though, Brown. Whatever. I think she loves it. She's really chill. So he harnesses her, takes her to a corner, then gets the son like, and we're terrified for Allie because she's like so temperamental. We just have no idea how
we thought she was
going
to be screaming and kicking and crying the whole time. Like, I was sick to my stomach.
Yeah. So he kind of just gets behind her. She walks over to the corner with Brown, and he puts a harness on her so easily. And then he's like rubbing her, and I'm like, I'm literally like about to be in tears. I'm like, she's never been touched. Like, she will not let us near her. I can't believe this is happening. So he's like, come here, has me just hold her head. Their heads are incredibly heavy, and it's like a lot of stress on their necks. Their neck muscles are so fucking thick.
And so tight.
My God. Tight. So I have her head in my arms, and I'm like melting because I'm finally being able to touch my little fucking girl. And I have her head in my arm, and I'm just scratching her in her ears, scratching her all over. They're trimming her feet. She does flawlessly, gets her feet all nice. She gets done. They do Brown. He's great. Tanner's still so young. He doesn't need his feet done. But like the fulfillment that I felt, I haven't felt that happiness in, I don't think, my whole life. Like just taking care of an animal and like giving it such a good life and knowing that it's comfortable and happy. And like at the end of that day, I was like, this is my whole purpose in life. Like the purpose that I felt helping an animal, and like it was just a toe trim. Like,
right. Imagine like actually taking in animals that like have like nowhere to go.
Rescuing a cow from slaughter, or like rescuing a dog from kill day, like horses, all the fucking animals. My farm's going to be a sanctuary. I have to figure out how many animals I can get. And I'm not going to be stupid and just like get them all at once. Like I'm going to do my research. I'm going to take classes and like really make sure I know how to take care of these animals. Cause like what I'm planning is going to be a lot. I might need a farmhand, like a real farmhand.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the best fucking day ever. And we got them a new shelter for when the weather gets rough. And I'm just really excited. So yeah, up next is just going to be learning about more animals, rescuing new animals. That's what I'm going to do with my life. I don't know who else is going to come on board, but it's really fucking exciting. And it feels really good to learn about them. The farriers like taught us so much. And I'm really wanting to get some more. I think cows are next.
Yeah. It's just beautiful, man. Like having that complete separate life, like real life, like off the internet, like you have a whole other purpose that like fulfills you, which then keeps you able to like stay sane to do the internet shit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
To do the thing that makes me the money to be able to take care.
That's the whole point.
And that's why I went through all that shit, that I was given this whole platform, that I'm here now, that I have all this money and that I can fucking give it back to these poor animals. I can't imagine. And I need to start some sort of something, because like the anger that I feel against people who neglect animals and like hurt animals, yeah. So we're going to start something.
We're starting an organization.
Some sort of organization at some point.
We're going to start a riot.
In the future.
We're going to paint signs with our own blood.
It's going to be me.
Topless.
Me and Gina picketing.
Covered in blood.
Say,
how do you like this?
The animals, yeah. And
I don't know. Something along. We'll workshop it, but you get the point.
I think there's a few things.
I want it to be graphic, though. I want it to really hit home.
Yeah, I think that would hit home. Maybe tops on, because topless might distract from
the point.
Let's get a bunch of honks and it's just two girls with their tits out. I don't.
You meant honks as like in a horn. I thought you meant honks.
Bunch of free grabs?
Yeah.
No chance, dude. Okay, we're gonna heavily workshop this plan. But yeah, just animals in general are my purpose in life. Yeah. I don't know what else I'm meant for, but that's about it for me. And
you're like halfway there. That's the thing, is like you're on your way there, and that's really fucking awesome.
I can't believe it. Even just the land. But content wise, heavy farm content. I'm trying to figure out, and I'm also trying to figure out the whole ski mask girl. I've been thinking a lot about bringing her back in and bringing the character back and like playing both parts. And I think it could be really, really funny if it's like done right. But I know you guys miss her a lot, and I miss her too. And just like as an alter ego situation on the farm, I think could be really funny. I just have to do it right. Mm-hmm. So that I'm not completely shit on.
We got to get a third. We got to get the third to film. We need Chantel. Yeah.
We need my sister to get down here. She's in the process of selling her house right now. So they should be here before Christmas. And so we should be able to get some really good content going, which is just going to be fucking hysterical.
Everything's just going to get better from here on out. Content, the podcast, it's only going to get better.
Yeah, we have two guests lined up for the next.
Guests that you are going to be like, what the fuck?
How did you?
And like professional guests, and
not like influencer guests.
No, like noteworthy, professional, respected guests.
Yeah.
So we got to figure out, because I sometimes just go, like, even I'm like trying to think of something and then I'm like, where's my thought? And it's gone. Can't do that anymore, I think.
No, but when we like with Christian, it's so
we were on top.
We're
of it
really
too.
Connected, and we really like learning and connecting. So I think that's different.
Yeah.
When it's the two of us, that's when I start to get a little dizzy.
Me too. Like you were like, dude, just spit it out, and I want to be like, I can't. Yeah. I don't know what I want to fucking say. I don't know where it's at. I know where I start, and then it like trails off, or like I want to say something. Never mind. That's us in daily life. I know.
That's me in every sentence I form.
You. Today, I was you.
That's
today. I know. You did.
'Cause I'm trying really hard to not be me.
Dude, because you did good. Every thought you had was a complete one. Today, my thoughts were not complete, and I apologize. But you know what? That's just human, and that's just us being raw. Because some days you're going to have a good day, and I'm going to have a bad day. Mostly.
We really balance each other out. The other day, she was like crying and emotional. I feel like I kept us up.
Kinda. Yeah.
I was joyful. I said, do you want to I offered to go get Christmas decorations.
You did. That was really nice. That was one way. I'm so easy to like.
I brought her a coffee and said, you want to go pick out Christmas decor? Yeah.
I'm so easy to perk up, like, or like to, if I'm mad, like, to make me unmad, you don't even have to say anything. You just, and I'm like, ah. Yeah. No, but that was so weird. I haven't had a day like that in forever. And like the next day I woke up, like I could think about everything that day I was thinking about that was making me upset, and I wouldn't shed a tear over it.
The day before that, though, you were like, man, I kind of feel like crying. Oh, and the night before we watched A Fault in Our Stars.
Which was our own fault.
Don't watch that fucking movie, dude.
So in our bedroom, we have two king-size beds, like adjacent to each other. So hers is like this and mine's like this. And we're watching A Fault in Our Stars, and I hear her go, Gina, are you awake? And I pop my head up, and we're watching the movie, and then like just full on sobbing.
I had to run to the bathroom.
But we're like sitting up, looking at each other, just like crying in our stupid adult king.
You know when you're trying not to like I had my arms above my head, holding my breath, and you're just tears
like that. Yeah. So pathetic. And then I cried the whole next day. So maybe if you're feeling sad, don't feed into it, or do feed into it. I'm not sure, because
we feed into the loneliness. We watch like romantic
then I felt
movies.
Like after that, like the next 2 or 3 days, even today, like I feel 10 times better because I just like got it all out. So I don't know.
Yeah,
we're learning.
Maybe I could use a good cry.
We're learning. Then. Yeah, I feel like you cried recently. That's why I made that face.
Probably. Just the nightmares. We got to stop the nightmares.
I know. I don't know how.
We got to think of something.
Potentially, it might be the melatonin. I don't know. Like, you take it, and I feel like you don't need to be taking it. Like, you fall asleep fast. And then, like, last night you said you didn't sleep wink, but, like, you took it anyway. So I think maybe try not.
Yeah, but that was a tummy ache, though.
Oh.
I had a bad tummy ache all night. Uh-oh.
I see. I already forgot what I was saying. saying?
I think it's time to wrap it up. This is where we start trailing off. This is like me on my lives on TikTok, and I'll just end up staring, and then I forget that I'm on live, and then I gotta get off of here, and then I click off. I hope anything was clear in this episode.
I hope anything made any sense. Our main points were we wanted to take back some of the shit we said because we're actually sweet, nice girls who want to be loved, and we're not going to be dicks to everybody. And Brayna's not that much of a dick, and I'm sorry that you were, okay? I'm sorry that I said you were because I don't mean that all the time.
It's all the time. I can be a big dick.
Okay. But we didn't need to broadcast that because what if there's someone who's watching this that might be the love of Brianna's life and now he's too afraid to approach her because I said he's going to feel like the dumbest person in the room being around her. And that's not fair. And I take that back. And anybody who has interest in her, I will give you 100 million reasons why you should have that interest. Yeah. Wow. I don't know if I'm looking at the right camera, but but I'm looking at that one. I don't know. There's some back there doing something. Anyways, we wanted to revisit the conversation because we're learning and we're growing and we want to show
you to grow too with us. It's important. And
so that's what this was about.
And I think us being your, if you're younger, we're approaching 30 and we have a lot of knowledge to give, and we would like you to not be hindered by anything we say just because we're all fucked up.
Yeah, or because we're like trying to be funny or joking. Like everything's a joke and nothing's a joke. So take that. And I don't know how you're going to decipher what that means because I say it all the time and I don't even know what it means. But that's the point. Like, why the fuck did I need to say that? I don't know. But we wanted to repaint ourselves in a different light and from there, hopefully keep that.
Yeah, and have some candid conversations along the way.
Yeah.
Because we love being candid.
Because we're funny. We have funny stories, but we also, like, this is supposed to be educational to some degree. Yeah. And we wanted to show that.
Yeah. And next week will be our second guest. And I'm not going to tell you who. Yeah. God willing.
Yeah. But
really
if it's not him,
really
it'll be, we'll get somebody.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're excited to see you. Hope you enjoyed hanging out with us in our hats. And who knows what we'll be wearing next week.
Yeah. We're just going to keep doing this and spice it up. One day we're going to be in full Victorian garb.
Yeah, we almost wore gowns today.
You won't even recognize us.
We have all of our clothes from LA. Fuck, what are we going to wear in LA now? We have all of our LA shit here in Nashville now. So
everything is here.
We'll just have to do some heavy planning with our costumes.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for watching. Fuck it, mask off. Don't forget to take your mask off sometimes.
Like and subscribe.
Love you.
Isn't that what people say?
Like and subscribe.
I don't know. I think people say that on YouTube or whatever.
All right. Fucking love you.
Goodbye.
Stay fighting. Or don't. That sounded like the Scooby-Doo laugh.
Yeah.